Hello.
Seems like ages since we traded. That
Does
was
feel like a
so
while.
awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a bit of a long break.
We did, and I didn't. I think last Thursday. Yeah, I didn't play last Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's been kind of nice actually to just kind of have stayed away from it.
having a break. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I have those feelings sometimes, but it worries me when I enjoy not training.
I know.
I'm like, why? Why did I enjoy that? Why was it so much less stress? Hmm.
A lot less stress. I totally noticed that. It's an intense occupation.
It is, and it's one of those things that's like there can be a lot of stress on it, but then there also doesn't have to be. And I feel like when we have, I don't know, this is kind of one of those back and forths that you keep playing. Like trading should be just like, no, I'm not like. I think the stress comes from us needing an outcome based on usually financial gains, right? It's like it's stressful because I need this to work because I need money. If we had the money and it wasn't like a need, then maybe you could find the joy of just like, oh, let's just see if we can find a pattern. Yes, no. Like even Thursday, I traded the right trade, and then I realized that I had a red week, and the market pumped up, and I was, in my head deep down, I was like, let's just walk away. Like you're on a W here. Like it's not a big one that you wanted to try and make up for. And then it started to come back down, and I was like, is it really? I was like, oh, actually, there is opportunity here because if it's gone up, it's going to come back down, sort of thing. And I just mistimed it, took three losses, and ended up with a red day. And that's just like, man, like that kind of last minute decision making and that psychology, like that's the stress that comes. That's where the stress comes from. Is like rather than just walking away happily, like at quarter past four or whatever it was when I'd finished that first trade, I was like, no, I really want to get another trade because I need to make up for the bad week or whatever. This revenge psychology, and that turned a green day, which it was probably about 2%, I don't know, 1.5% or something, down to a 3% loss or 2% loss or something.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. And then I think the feeling of intensity of the whole thing, because you feel awful after you have to deal with all the, why did I do that? And then you have
Mm-hmm.
to go through all the reasons
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. 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 And it's just, yeah. So like I think that's where it comes from, and it's one of those things that obviously we'll know when we get there, but. Once we get to that level of financial freedom, that we've got enough from trading, or enough, or psychologically what we believe is enough in general,
Right.
then trading becomes even easier. Not so much because, oh, I know how to trade now, but because the psychological need for success is diminished,
Exactly.
and then usually that's when it becomes easier. Exactly, exactly.
Exactly. Let go of the outcomes,
Yep.
whatever it is you look for.
And the thing is, we
That's when
know
you
it.
start trading.
We know it and we hear it and we understand it, but we just still don't do it, if that makes sense. We still
Yeah.
have that within us. But yeah.
And it's very
Anyway.
much a human.
Mm-hmm. Crazy, right? Ugh, human. Gross. I would be human. So yeah. I haven't actually marked up just yet today. I've been busy doing a few things. So I'm just going to quickly um, do the top down here and see what we've got in the way of anything coming up. I feel like we've already done a sweep, so we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah, I thought so too. Because we've done sweeps totally.
yeah,
Yeah, we just kind of missed it.
well, we'll mark up what we've got here. Yeah, last week wasn't the easiest trading week. Probably my worst trading week this year, actually. But
Yeah, it was a tough week, and I think that was across the board. I think any of the Instagrams I was seeing and that type of thing, they're all like
oh,
tough
really?
ones. Yeah,
Interesting. I took a lot of self blame for my trading this week because I realized that it was quite a few things that I it wasn't that I don't think it was that I was executing horribly, but I also wasn't executing great and not like, how do I put this? So when I trade badly, I'm like, well, I knew what I was doing there, and I shouldn't have done that, and I shouldn't have done that, and I shouldn't have done that. That's why I traded badly. Some days you have good trading days where you're like, that was actually good execution, that was good, it just wasn't, the trade just didn't go my way, and that you can live with. And I was somewhere in between. I was like, I wasn't trading badly, but I wasn't trading well, and then I wasn't holding off for certain things, and the market kind of did move, but I just wasn't executing. So I was really all over. And then I was like, should I have just stayed out? Should I have done all this? So there was a lot of self-blame for my own trading last week. But to hear it's across the board, then, maybe I can give myself a bit of a break.
I think so. It's hard to see
Yeah.
I know that's kind of like,
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so we've kind of got a weird little... Asia kind of consolidated, and London has taken out both Asia and both Asia high and Asia low, if that makes sense. So I don't see any major sweeps coming from that concept, right? So that's like how I like to trade. I like to have a London sweep and then trade the opposite, basically. I always find that to be probably the easiest way to trade. But now we do have London lows lower, which we still could get, right? We've kind of triple topped here at a strong level that we've had. We dipped into it here, and then we had a few days ago on the Wednesday we had a high, and then we've kind of dipped into it like midnight Asia, and then we dipped into it again at London, all in the same area. So what we could, there's a lot of liquidity there, and that's sitting just below some higher time frame fair value gaps. And if we zoom out on the 4 hour, we've kind of had this push back up. So we've dipped down, we pulled back a little bit for a decent pullback, right? We've left a lot of invalid gaps here, so there's a lot of gaps here that I don't have marked up anymore, but basically in this area there's quite a bit of gaps and liquidity. We did wick out a lot of them on the Thursday. But we could come down, sweep that liquidity, and dip into this last order block, which created that push. We don't have anything in this area, so what we could see is it come down here. But that's a pretty big, we kind of already made, we haven't quite made higher highs. We're kind of just, like I said, double topping, triple topping here. So we could see maybe a sweep of that, and then a return down in here. Whether that goes completely or not, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter too much for us. Or we could actually see, because we've already done that double top, if we look at the 1 hour, we've come up, then we've swept. This could just be a pullback in. So we've kind of got, if you look at this from the 1 minute point, we had a high, we came down, we pushed back up, we swept that high, we then created the chock with a fair value gap, and we've just dipped back into that fair value gap. So if this is like a bearish engulfing, that's an entry of ours basically, but this is on the 1 hour. So seeing price come back up and even just take out this high, sweep this high at market open and then come back down, we could easily see that and come to attack at least London low, if not start to take out some of these yesterday's big liquidity areas. So I don't mind that for a potential trade opportunity on the Dow. If we push up, kind of take out this previous high on the 1 minute or the 15 minute, somewhere around here, and then start to reverse back down into here, there's probably quite a bit of room down there. How far is that? That's still 250 points. So if we get that, a rejection kind of from this area, that would be a pretty key pivotal, because it's inside of a 1 hour fair value gap. We've already taken out a previous high for Asia high, like London. So we've taken the low, and so now we're pulling back into an area of internal liquidity to then go make a new low, which would be London low again. So kind of taking that trade from the internal liquidity within that fair value gap above that high down to London low, or even the previous week low, just down here and here. So I don't mind that. If we don't take out that high and we come down, taking a breakout is going to be a little bit difficult, because there's not much room between these liquidity gaps. There's only 30 points there, and then maybe another 50 or 60 points there, and I don't really see like a strong reversal period. So I would prefer to probably sell down. If we do get some kind of London low reversal first, we could come down here and get a reversal, but I'd want to see it be pretty clean, and I would also want to see it yeah, there's plenty of room to trade back up there. So if we did, I think I'd be waiting for the chock on the downside though, because this is basically, if we assume that this is reversed, this is internal to external, internal to external. We're trending down. When we pull into internal, usually it can spike and push really quickly to external. But when we're at external, it could just keep trending down. So that's when I want, at external liquidity is when I really want to see that chock and that big reversal. So a quick sweep of this high to trade down would be okay for me on the Dow, but a chock reversal around London low was kind of what I'd be expecting if I wanted to buy up from there. And I'd probably prefer it to do that before sweeping this high. But again, if this is to create a bearish engulfing, that's an entry model. A bearish engulfing out of a fair value gap. That's what we take. That could just see continuation. So we could just be looking at a bearish push. So we'll just keep that in mind. I'm just going to quickly pop over to the NAS and see what we get there. But yeah, we could even already see this, this previous high that we had. That could be it. It could just now be coming down from there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we dip down, but if we do sweep high, create a real reversal from there, I would like to trade it down. I didn't do my previous day high on the Dow either. Stay low. Oh, sorry Ed, don't know how long it's been waiting there. Man. Yeah, Zoom's changed their thing up. Usually I just open up the waiting room and then you guys can just join. But I can't find a way to disable that. Maybe it's at the pre-settings. Might have to do it pre-setting rather than inside the call. Sorry Ed, I hope you weren't waiting too long. Nice. Have you got a prediction or a market play for today? Okay. We did on the Dow, but I can go through it again. I was just curious to see, what you're seeing, if it lines up with what we're talking about. Just that general stuff. Okay. No. Mm-hmm. It's okay, I'm still marking up my NAS right now as well, because I was a little bit late. So like, same sort of thing on the NAS. I'll talk to this and then I'll go back to the Dow for you, Ed. But we've kind of had this come up. We've come up here. We didn't sweep previous day high like we did on the Dow, but we have come up to make this high. We've taken out Asia high. We've taken out Asia low. We've left a bit of an hourly fair value gap in here, creating an inversion fair value gap. So it tells me that we've come up to a key level. We push back down. Now it could be that we want to come back up and sweep this or get into these higher time frame fair value gaps. But with the way that it's playing with like double tops and triple tops at these key levels, it could be that we've already found enough liquidity to push the market back down. Now, if that's the case, I'd be even looking for a price up to here, so sweeping this previous high that we just had, coming into this break of structure fair value gap, so inside this fair value gap, the mitigation zone, the midway point, and then continuing something down like this, maybe coming back up and making a move somewhat like this. Would be the ideal movement. So if we can get a sweep up here and a quick reversal, then I don't mind trading that down to like London low. If it comes down to London low, potentially this liquidity in this internal break of structure area where this fair value gap was or is, could be a kind of key area that we could bounce from. So again, if we have shifted to bearish momentum, then we're looking for, you know, IFVGs from internal to external. From external, we want real chocks, real shifts of market structure. So waiting for that to really confirm and then potentially trading back up. But it could just be that we break, come back to the London lows and then continue to trade it back down. So I'd be looking out for that kind of movement. The things that it could do, come back down before sweeping that high and then just turn back around here. So options sort of number 2 would be we just come down into this liquidity and get a real chock to come back up into here, right? And then kind of move bullish for the day. We have kind of bounced on that higher time frame. You know, we pulled down, we bounced, we pulled back. We're kind of making a new higher high. We're in that momentum, but we do have a bit of a key area above, so we could go a little bit higher to then push back down. But as you can see, there's a big supply and demand zone just here that we're just kind of bouncing out of, which is why we could see this push back down. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to shift down and start to push the market completely bearish, but easily a push off here to come back down into lower lows, maybe sweep this low. It's a very common move. You know, we've got a fair value gap here, a big fair value gap here on the 4 hour with liquidity in here. So before we come back up, we pull back down, we grab that liquidity, and then we drive the market back up. So today, what we're looking for is that push back down to this area, maybe before sweeping that previous day low and then coming back up to take out new highs, maybe in the afternoon or tomorrow or something like that. But alternatively, it doesn't come that low. It just grabs some of this liquidity and then pushes back up, continues the bullish trend. So those are my 2 options. If it pushes high, I don't mind selling from this this kind of previous wick from just a little while ago. That should be enough liquidity to push us back down, and then there's plenty of room back down to London lows. When we get to London lows, looking to see if we're going to actually reverse from there, if we're going to break out and continue the trend down. I probably wouldn't sell off until we kind of break here, pull back up, and then get another continuation down, and then there's probably room down to the previous day low there. But inside this area, you know, this kind of zone here, we've got a little bit of liquidity, we've got a little bit of like reversal area, so not really the best opportunity to buy. So this is like that supply and demand where if we come up here, sell down to it, and then wait to see what happens. Do we break through it and continue down, or do we reverse from here and continue back up? So kind of looking to sell from here and buy when we break up from here, or sell when we break down from here. And that's pretty much the same thing that I've got on the Dow, which we can go and check in a sec. The alternative is it comes and pushes straight up here, and then again pushing up here. If we come and sweep this high, I'm waiting for a real reversal because now we're in a bullish market. So if I'm going to take the sell, I want to wait for that change of character, I want to wait for that real market structure shift and then sell back down. Or if we're breaking up, there's not really much room into this fair value gap anyway, so kind of waiting to get above that. Now if we fly straight up from the market open and break through here, that's going to be a really bullish run, and then we've got above here, we've kind of got some room, but that'll be, you know, if we get there, kind of reassessing when we get there, if we get there. But may even be that the move's kind of done for the day and that we just didn't get something. Does that make sense? Cool. Dow, same sort of thing. The big block of liquidity is a bit more scattered. So this liquidity, what often happens is we can pull back up. You know, this to me looks even more enticing for a sell, in my opinion. You know, we created the double top, we've even swept that, we've come back down, created a new low, we come back up, we sweep that high, right? And then we continue the push down. We can grab liquidity, right? Into another key area. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for in terms of the Dow. Again, if that doesn't want to do that, we could come down here, find an area in here, wait for that shock to come back up and confirmation, and see if there is room up to a previous high. Now this could be just a pullback, this could be the reversal, but to me it does look more bearish. But of course the market does whatever the fuck the market wants to do, so we just have to follow that. And if it does come down first, push back up, we could see it push back up. But again, on the Dow, once we get above this high, we've got a lot of imbalance here, which I feel like we could push back down. So buying up through here isn't really, you know, my ideal setup for today. Okay, just double check the news, and then I'm going to go to the toilet quickly. We've got 5 minutes before market open happens. Some Canadian news, and that's about it. Yep. So I feel like we're clear for news. We'll see if that plays out, how it's going to look. But yeah, that would be my kind of ideal structure for the day. We'll see if we can get up here, trade back down, and see what we get from market open. But yeah, close that up, refresh the NAS, get this back on here. Maybe remove these. 1 minute. So yeah, this is that high that I'm looking for it to kind of sweep at market open. It may be quick as well. It may just be one of those like, I think it come up here and maybe bounce up. Like this is, if I was to just set sell orders, I don't like doing this, especially without like a proper kind of positioning. But this is kind of what I'd potentially expect market open liquidity to kind of do, and we've got a 20. Just go 30 points. It was nice on that one. It's just above here and above this if it does want to dip back into here. You know, that's kind of what I'm hoping the market will do, right? But the reason I'm saying I hope the market does this, but I'm not trading it, is because there is not enough confirmation for me to back this, and that's not part of my strategy, is to just grab that break of structure, retest, tap at market open, right? So I placed that there to sort of show what I'm expecting, and this would be the ideal 1 to 5 or whatever, down to this low. But in terms of actually me trading live, until I have real big confidence in this kind of movement, I would not be trading that as a trade like this. I'd be waiting and seeing if we get like an IFVG up here or some kind of real reversal, or if it don't get the IFVG, wait for the chock or something like that, you know. Alright, 3 minutes, I'm going to pee, I'll be back.
So it feels to me like the Dow has almost been behaving more like the NAS for the last little while. Like those really huge push downs. When you just have another just like literally up in the air.
But I think I just saw your talk about the 1 minute and like
Yeah.
tank and then took off.
Yeah, right back up. Yeah, those what is that? Is that a hammer?
Shooting star's the opposite. But I don't know which one exactly we're talking about. Yeah, that looks like a hammer, a shooting star, I think.
Yeah, I think the hammer is
Yeah. See, to me, I had that thought just then. I was like, wait, is it a hammer swinging, or is it a sledgehammer that's standing there that you got to pick up and start?
Oh, okay, sledgehammer. Okay, I'll think
But
of that one.
and like a shooting star, does it like one coming down to the earth, or is it like shooting star? I don't know. It's goddamn names. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, what are we doing here? We're doing.
Oh, so that's McDonald's tool in your head?
No, was that the McDonald's? Did I do McDonald's again? I didn't think I did then, but maybe I did. Maybe I did. Okay, let's just put that at 35, and what we can do this one. Do this to start with. We'll just leave it at 40 points. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. We've got literally 1 minute. Oh, is this market open? Wow, okay, that was there, that's the market open. Yeah. So there's that movement on the NAS, triggered that, bang. The Dow did not quite get up there, but we've got a TDI shift up followed by a TDI shift down is a key trade that I do like. But I can't do that without any, oh man, shift up by shift down, that's really nice. Don't have the right risk to reward. Yeah, about time trigger. So that entry on the NAS got triggered beautifully. Oh, this Dow setup. Do I have 70 points? If it closes below that candle wick, I actually do not mind that. If it gives us the true shift and closes below this low. It did not. Okay, so ignore that. Let's wait to see if we can get up there and get that. That NAS triggered very nicely. Unfortunately, there's no real entry there, so what we can wait for is we can wait for the chock or something like that to happen here after making that sweep. And we're getting a TDI chock, so we could actually take that if we wanted to. True shift chock. Would like it to pull back up a little bit though. I was going to take that one. The Dow is going. Okay, so we did get the true shift chock. I don't mind that. If it pulls up a bit, that's a good pullback. Kind of just got to that key area where I'd like to sell from. Oh, but it looks like it's going much faster and further than I wanted it to. So we can pull back by now. And continue that move down. Did close below here, didn't it? It did, but it also tagged here. Interesting. You did? Nice. It's moving beautifully. I wanted it to sweep up here, but it didn't quite get there for me.
Actually, I just called 9 candle.
Oh, nice. Nice. So now we do have a potential a break of structure re-entry movement kind of here, but it might trigger that now. I'm still in on the NAS, so I'd like that to start to break down now, but we'll see. Yep. I want to see this NAS close bearish engulfing now, please. Doesn't close bearish engulfing, we may be looking at a reversal. The Dow took off, but the NAS didn't. Damn it! Yeah, something like that, but that's okay. Dow still taking off, so it did come back to retest this, but didn't really give us an entry, I don't think. The only entry that I could see on the Dow is from the bottom of that wick candle. Oh, it's much different here. Interesting. Beautiful. Are you still in the Dow?
I am, yeah. I'm just out now. That's my 1 and 2 right there.
Nice. Come on, Naz, keep going down first, please. Looks like the Naz. Nice.
I did not
I apologize. It wasn't 1 and 2. It was a 1 to 1.5.
It's alright, it's still nice.
I know, I think I kind of was like, oh, I got it. But, yeah. That was 1 to 2 right there.
Yep. I was hoping we'd get the sweep first, but we just didn't. That's okay. Alright, the Naz trade now. Come on, if this doesn't close down here, then we may have to protect this position and jump out because it's not really taking off like the Dow did. Yeah, we've had a couple of pullbacks and now we really need a bit of bearish momentum. If we sweep that low again and start to push back up, it's not really the move that I'll be looking for. So I do want this to close with some bearish momentum, otherwise I think I may need to protect it and jump out. Let's see if we can get a close below these lows and maybe start the move.
It's weird. I noticed you didn't get me here now.
No, I didn't.
Did you?
Happens sometimes. Come on, Naz. Ah, okay, that's not ideal. I think the Naz is going to push back up now. And I did not protect my position. So that's going to go and hit my stop, I think. Ah, shit. Ah! Yep. Naz took the wrong shot. No, I got full stop, unfortunately. It's alright. Now back to the list. Oh. It pushes back off there and goes down. I'll be bummed. Alrighty, what can we see from here? Looks like we may have gotten a pullback, potential TDI. Shift, unshift on the NAS, creating an inversion fair value gap, but we didn't get it in the one candle, so it might be a bit tight to trade that now. Oh, this true shift confirmation. It's another okay trade if we can break that low, but I'm just a bit more concerned about if we're going to get below that low. Now we're getting that push, so that is more of the push that we wanted. Inversion, if it pulls back, we'll take that again. Will it pull back at all? It's just going to go. It's not going to give me it. Oh, there's a pullback. Okay, now if this doesn't take off to the downside, I think I've got to protect that position as well, but it should hopefully shift, unshift with an inversion. We pull back to the inversion. Let's see if it breaks the lows here, or if we're going to bounce back up. The stop loss actually isn't in the best spot on this one either. Shit. This candle really needs to push down now. Flip bearish. There we go. Close below there, please. Don't push back up. Closes below here, we may actually get the momentum, but if it doesn't, oh, closed on the low. That's not ideal either. Okay, we've got a bit of a pullback now. Let's see if we can finish this push down. Come on. Don't give me a doji right here. Get below. The bulls are holding price on the NAS. Come on, push bearish and close below there. Do not want to see a doji like this. We've got 3 seconds. That is not ideal. Motherfucker. How do I trade this? This candle needs to basically push back, but I feel like we get bullish momentum from here. Come on, push back down. There's no real more internal liquidity, so if it holds here, I think it's going to reverse back up again. Come on, push bearish. We got 12 seconds. Will it push bearish, or is it going to stay bullish? That's not ideal. Okay, fuck. Yeah. Gonna have to protect this, I think. Come on, push down a bit. Flip red. Flip bearish. Last candle doesn't go bearish. I think that's got to be. Last chance at this low. While the Dow starts to prep for a reversal. Come on, get below it. It really is, really is. Come on. Oh man, pushing up again from this area, but didn't really sweep the low this time. Come on, go. Get out of there this time. We're at that next level of liquidity. Is it going to hold or is it going to break? Oh, that's rough. That's probably going to be it, isn't it? If that closes like that, I think that may be it. I'll push back down, keep going. Alright, I can't take a loss on this, and I think it's going to reject from here. So much room to give it to push back. That's what I'm doing right now, but I feel like it could come back up to take me out before continuing on, so that's why I'm hesitating on the protection. But it's at that point now where I have to basically protect it. I can't take a loss on it, have it come this way like it's at the reversal point, so it'd be dumb to take a loss on it now. Kind of needs to, like this area right here where we're at is kind of like it's either going to break or it's going to bounce from this liquidity right here. Right, that's where we're at. I'm looking for it to close below there, but it's just not. So if it doesn't, then it's more than likely to get pushed back up. But I was hoping we could get a bit more of a push down, but it just doesn't want to do it today. So it's getting to the point where if this doesn't close below that low, I think it may bounce. Come on, there we go. Now push, don't quick back up, motherfucker.
Thanks, baby, thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'm. At least come down to this next area, which is where this TP is basically. Come on, go.
Do you want to challenge that or live challenge?
Live. Push down. You asking me a question? Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah. You're saying 937? Is that width? Or the body? Yeah. I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be 945? No?
Oh man.
Yeah, 945, wouldn't that be chalk? To the upside? What are you talking about? Oh, to the upside? To the upside?
shit. Missed it, I think. Just trying to decide if it's going to continue the move down and get to those lows, or if it's going to pull back up too much. Come on, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Yeah, it's just want it to get below this candle low. If it does push back up, I think that'll be it. Come on, get below. Not yet, I'm about to drop it lower, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I should just do that now, just in case. Come on, close below this low. Yeah, so basically I'm looking for this candle to close bearish engulfing, but if it doesn't, it's going to probably go up and take out my stop. Yeah, that's probably going to be it. Damn it. Missed the opportunity to grab that. Fuck. Oh, how's this going to close? That closed well, actually. Keep going. Oh, that's a big wick. Not sure if I like that. That's looking like kind of reversing. I'm out. Oh shit, am I out of everything? Am I out of everything? Where's my... Ah, where is it? Too many things open. Yes, I am. Okay, good. Yeah, the fact that it jumped down like that and pushed back up, leaving a wick, I was like, that looks like a liquidity grab if I've ever seen one. And so then I just jumped onto that. I mean, it may keep going down, but it got the TP, so my market open entry was great. That was a bloody wicked call, 25 to 140 points. What's that like? That's a... I don't know what that is, a 1 to 6. Ended up playing out nicely. Unfortunately on my live, I took the entry, which was fine, but my stop loss placement just got me wicked out. I had my stop loss above this candle, and it took me out, full stop, and then I got back in, and that's okay. I don't mind that. Happens sometimes. Right, now, in terms of this, we're actually getting the TDI chock right now. True shift chock. So I don't mind that as an entry on the Dow. Just got to check out R2R. 40 points for the stop. Okay, let's see if this closes like this, gives the confirmation. We just got to be careful of that fair value gap just above. But I don't mind this if we do get the close. 1 second, we did get the close. A little bit of a pullback. I do want this to keep going. We may get a pullback to this level a little bit further. I did not wait for it. I did not want to. Let me put this in to see. Stop loss is down here. TP would be at least up to here, basically. I do want this to kind of make a move though. So that's enough of a pullback. Now you can push up. That's kind of where I'd expect the trigger to happen if it was going to. And now we can hopefully push up and close bullish. Just want to be careful of this gap here, if it's going to respect that, if we're going to push straight through it. We'll push straight through it is the answer. Let's see if we can get to the other side. So my automatic trail has put me at break even, so we must be up by 1.5% or something. Let's see if we can close through this though. I want to get through this fair value gap. get to the other side of it. That's the one. We do have another fair value gap kind of just up here. Actually, that's where my TP already was. Wow. Come on, let's go. Oh, that was actually where my TP should have been. Why is my TP not there? Shit. Yeah, man. Well, I gave away all of my profit. I'm still in, but
Well, I got 38 points ago.
fuck, I took almost nothing. And I knew it too. I can't do anything. It's just going straight to it. Ah, man, that was silly of me. I had this line marked up for a reason, and when it got there, my TP was 1 to 2, which I thought I had set, but my TP was much further than that. Ah, well. Kind of gave up way too much profit on that one. That was silly. How did you guys go? Nice. I think I'd got 4 points in the end. Yeah, I know that was not smart. That was poorly managed trade. That was. Oh well.
Well, the Dow has pretty much done what we were talking about, right?
Yeah, it did. Did.
How'd you do on that, Ed? Are you still there? No.
No, I'm calculating 660. No, 48.
So usually I've got mine all preset at 1 to 2 R to R, and that hit my 1 to 2 R to R, but my TP wasn't there. So something's gone on. I have to double check that because that was that would have hit my TP had I had it in the right spot. And I should have captured some of that. I let that go up 80 points and was still at break even. But it didn't look like it because it kind of all went up in this one candle. And then I was like, oh, maybe it will retest this. And by the time it did that, it just took away all the profit. And I was like, ah, fuck. Oh well. Whoops, I forgot that demo trade was still on. Crazy. Can't believe I let that 1 to 2 come all the way back to break even.
I'm feeling like trade management. Yeah, it's hard. I set these really ambitious like targets,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I trail quite a bit. Like I lose a lot when I trail. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does. That's kind of why. Sorry. Go on, Lorraine. That's kind of why I switched it to trade the 1 to 2. Because, like in this particular instance, literally had this line marked out as a serious. Because in answer to your question earlier, Lorraine, I heard you say where to mark the chock. So the real chock of this move was here because this was the highest high. This was the low that made that highest high. Right? So all this in between was kind of internal change of character. So when we actually get, this kind of change of character here, I'm only expecting it to go down here before we know whether it's the higher time frames actually changing or whether it's the real change, if that makes sense. And so when we broke that with a bit of a fair value gap, I was like, oh, this is actually a good area to kind of re-enter a pullback. But then it hit London low, which was like the key area. So I'm like, well, it hit the key area before the pullback, so I won't take that. But then when I took the trade here, I was like, well, this is going to be a key area where it might bounce. And when I looked at it, my R2R was pretty good. I think it was like, I got the trade in here, had a stop loss down 40 points, and my 1 to 2 was literally on that line. And so I was like, oh, that's a nice trade. But then as it got closer, I didn't really pay attention, but my TP was somewhere up here. And then it bounced like this strongly, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of what we need to, that's kind of where my target should have been, especially because it coincided with this, right? But then, of course, by the time, my initial error was not setting my TP at my proper 1 to 2 at a key level, but then my second error was when this closed like this, I should have captured points. I was expecting, we may fill the fair value gap and continue to go. Maybe when it pushes like a pullback, I can get something like that. All valid sometimes, but this just pushed off really aggressively without even a single candle up, a single push up, which is kind of what I was waiting for, and then I lost all my profit. So this key area was the real change of character, but often acts as like a break and retest. So we broke it, we came back up to that. I did think that the London low would maybe outweigh that, like trump that, whatever. But when the trend is shifting to come down, that's a completely reasonable area to pull back up. And I bet if we did a retracement on this, it'd probably be pretty close to the 50% too. A fib retracement. Okay. I see. You're looking for the opposite way. So yeah, for me, it would have basically been up here until we kind of created a new high here, and then we created a low here, and that confirmed that this would have been the chock. And then as we got that TDI shift, that was my entry TDI chock, and it pulled back down to that line and then went off. But yeah, my trade management on that one was not great. the NAS gave a really nice shift, unshift, and then run. Boom. This is quite clean when you see the cloud shift. We've come down to a level, push back up. Didn't quite get the London low, push back up into the cloud. A little bit later than I would have liked it, but still nicely shift up, shift down with an inversion, beautiful MES pattern, and off we've gone. Would have been hard to trade, I think, because we would have had, like, at this point, it could have been that the risk to reward down to the London low was not good enough. But yeah, still. Oops. Yeah, it would have been 40 points ish. Yeah. And just when you have that confirmation, you've got the shift unshift from the TDI, you've got a retest into the cloud, you know, you've got the low new high that kind of retests into, you know, when we get a push down, this is the supply and demand, right? So this is the first area where there was a battle. We pushed out of that, we pushed back into that battle, and then we found more bearish momentum. So lots of things lining up here to really nicely give that rejection off there. But yeah. And so if we're going to break that low, that's kind of what we were predicting for the day, really. NAS is doing the same thing. Big push. Okay, there you go. Oh, really? So there is an opportunity to get a break of structure retest entry here. I feel like with this 80 point candle it's a bit aggressive, but there's plenty of room, right? So like if it comes back up and enters here, this is what we'll be looking at. Sell limit 1 here, stop loss either here or even up here. TP will be back down to lows or potentially further down here, but it's a big push. So that's the kind of move that could present here, but I'll put it in for now on my live account as well, but I feel like if we get that break down now and close below, it may just continue the run and we won't really get the pullback. Whereabouts? Mm-hmm. Down, yep. Yep. This one, no. This one's not. This is a fair value gap, but not a breakaway gap. This third candle, so this creates the fair value gap, but this third candle needs to close below this wick low for it to be a breakaway gap. No, the wick low. For me, I definitely say so. Like this, like if you look on the NAS here, this is a breakaway gap, fair value gap, close below the wick low, breakaway, continued on. the entry candle, the FET was a breakaway gap too. The breakaway gap that closed below the lows as well. So that could have, technically that could have been an entry, a breakaway gap that closed below the lows, but right before London low I wouldn't have traded that myself, but technically. Okay, so there is opportunity coming up here if this is going to enter. I do have it set on my live account. We're just going to see how it plays. If there's a big push and it closes like right above it, then I'm going to be pretty quick to get out. I don't really want it to push from here because that's showing strong bullish momentum from a key area of liquidity, so just want to be careful of that. I want it to kind of struggle on the way up there to show that there's still sort of bears in the market. May not make it all the way up there. This is where book map might be helpful, but we don't have it, so we're just going to wait and see what happens here. So I don't mind this, so it's sort of creating a low. What I'm looking for is like a bit of a pullback, not as aggressively as this. You know, this would have been pinpoint perfect, but the only problem I have here is that the 50% is a little bit higher right up here. We've got this supply and demand zone, so if it's going to pull back, it's going to pull back into somewhere here and then continue to push down. That's kind of what this is doing. Now we've got the breakaway with the TDI shift, we've got the fair value gap, we've got the lows. So if we do come back up and touch that, wick in and wick out, then I feel like we could come and attack these previous lows, and there's plenty of room down to these lows if we do that. The only thing we have to be careful of is if this is where buyers take over and it shoots up and just blows straight through, obviously. Are we? I see that there was one, but it looks like it's been, yeah. I kind of in a 1 hour order block, I guess you could say, as well. Yeah. Yeah, I had the same sort of thing. So we'll see if this shoots straight up.
Well, I guess once it's filled, right? Like
Yeah.
okay. We're looking at one from a little bit
I don't just want to go back just yet because we're getting a TDI chock here as well, which is looking to go bullish against. Okay, so we didn't actually get that chock on my broker, which tells me that we may, if we do push up, we may trigger the entry and come back down. But I mean, we've just hit that fair value gap and push back down a bit. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, you're right.
You still are. You still are. I'll go back and yeah, I'll go back and have a look at that in a sec. Yet I just wanted to, if this like kind of blows through, I want to protect that position a bit. So I just wanted to be kept cautious. But it looks like I'm looking to sell when it gets here. That's what I'm looking for. But I also don't want it to like blow up through like it kind of is right now. Well, that just triggered. Oh no, it just missed it on my account. Oh, just missed. Okay, that got it. Let's see if it pushes back down now or if it's going to continue to push up. Would like to see this push back down, leaving a wick. A strong wick at that would be ideal. If it does continue to close above this position like that, I want to be looking to potentially get out of it. How long we got left? 15 seconds. Leave a wick. There's my TP on this. So it did leave a wick, which is nice. But now it do need to continue down, not just continue to push back up. Okay. So we're starting to push bearish now. Let's see if it will continue. This candle closed bearish engulfing. If it doesn't close bearish engulfing, I'm probably going to look to capture / protect. In fact, I don't want to take a loss in this. I'm moving my stop loss to basically the wick high of this candle. So if it does flip bullish, I'm taking a tiny loss. Ideally, this candle closes bearish engulfing and comes to retest those lows. Nope. Not yet. Three. Okay, that's looking quite bullish now. So we'll see how this candle closes. It's worth capturing some of this. Come on, push, get below that low. If this candle can get below the candle low to the left, I'll protect. Otherwise, I think it's gonna flip and push bullish. Alright, that looks like we're going to continue the move to the top side. Come back down. No, come back down. Don't take me out.
I'm thinking I'm not going to take any of this today because I'm starting to feel like I'm just hunting. Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to watch. But
Come on, close bearish engulfing. Don't push back up. That's it. No. Alright, that's it. That's probably done. I think that was the last bearish push. Alright, I'm out. So unfortunately didn't get the move back down on that one, but still managed to get out. So break even / small win. Like 3-4 points or something like that. So had 2 break evens. Yeah. I got 2 points actually. Maybe I should have taken it when it was back down there, but it was hard because, you know, this coming here was a nice M forming and it needed to close below here. So if I captured it too quickly, it could have easily got me before coming back down, but that's right. Continued to move up and looking like we want to push bullish. Let me make sure that I'm out of all my trades. Yes, it looks like I am. Good, 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 good. Yeah, I think I'm also going to stop my trades. I've taken 4 for today. Unfortunately, trade management, I missed out on a TP2 and taken 2 break-evens. So quite happy to end on a positive there for myself.
Yeah, 5 weeks down to 5 I'm
So, the reason this wouldn't play is if this was the reversal, and it was the reversal, so quite happy that I managed to get out at, even just break even. It's quite a nice little dip, sweep, bam, push back up, aggressive on that one.
I did, yeah, and I took a loss.
You,
I took the full loss.
did you take the sell?
I took the sell, yeah.
Yeah, so with those sell break-even structure sells, like really the entry should be here, and if this wicks below this candle, you move the stop loss to that wick high. If it closes above the candle, it's pretty much almost always going to be a loss. So like if it closes above the entry line, you really aggressively move it and accept you've probably lost it. If it wicks like it did here, you want to move your stop loss to above here, right? Which is what I did, and then I was almost about to capture profit, but this shot up, so I took like 3 or 4 points just because I knew that when this started to push back up from the bearish engulfing, I knew that the move was over, and so I just grabbed what I could, which happened to be 4 points or something like that. But this is like these break of structure retest. These are great trades. Great trades. The hit rate on them is not as high, especially if you keep taking into consideration the like you got to make sure it has the key level swept first or not. But the reason they're so good is because the entry is really, really tight, and you can protect it really, really quickly. So, for example, like this is the exact same situation. Chalk fair value gap, literally exact same situation. This could have been an entry. Like that's why when it was up here, I was like, I need to get out. I almost thought about reversing, but I was like, don't reverse. That's what you usually do. Like that's usually what you do when you're trading badly. But this came up, swept that, and pushed back down here. That's how I knew that this was not going to go my way, but I didn't trade properly. I didn't manage it properly. But this is the exact setup where that's what you want, and if it is going to play, we come back down to previous low. So I could have put my stop loss here very, very quickly, and as you saw, it just went straight down to the previous lows and smashed TP. So that's why it's a good trade, but you have to be with your trade management on them. Did it wick below? Yes. Move your stop loss to here. Now sometimes you will get this beautiful movement, and then the next candle will come up, go a little bit higher into the fair value gap and go. You know, sucks, but you've lost what, like 5 points compared to the 40-point stop loss. So the reason they're so good is because you can mitigate risk very, very quickly.
Yeah, I let that one play out.
Yeah. But that's okay. You had what, 1 win, 1 loss?
2 wins, 1 loss. So
Nice.
I was actually alright today. So.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a. On Thursday, I was up by 1.5% or something, and then I stayed on, waited for another trade, and then I took like 2 losses or 3 losses immediately and turned it around to like a loss of a 2% day. So there's been a lot of opportunity here. We kind of executed on some of it, didn't manage some of it, but I mean the 3 trades that I've took, I was more than happy with. First trade, well, I know I must have taken 4 trades. 1, 2. Yeah, I have taken. Oh yeah, there's 1 left. I took 1 loss and 3 wins, but 2 were break even basically, or just more. But all the trades that I took, I'm quite happy with. I think the market moved quite nicely today. We had some good opportunity. Could have managed trades a bit better, but other than that, quite good. And I got to check out why my TP2 is not set at TP2, because that Dow trade where I took 2 points. Yeah, definitely. But that's kind of what we predicted at the start of the market. Did pretty similar. I thought it would actually take out the high first on the Dow. I thought it might sweep this first, but it didn't. So I was a bit cautious about that, but it still made the same movement. Came down, pushed up, came down, pushed right back up. Who knows what it's going to do now. NAS, same sort of thing. Pulled down, pushed up, pulled down, pushed up. Don't know if it's going to continue down to previous day low or if it's going to reverse here, but nonetheless, not bad trading. Yeah, so look, it's kind of doing the same thing. See this? You can see this green line is right between this fair value gap, right? And it's almost perfectly come to catch that. Now I don't know if this would have triggered because it's like just off, but if it did, see how this candle's left doji? I would have my stop loss at this week high. If it was that'd probably be break even at this point, and I'd be hoping that this thing continues on, right? Which is kind of what happened in the last one, but then we didn't continue on.
That itself could just be like, I don't know, I feel like lately I've kind of walked away a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like, obviously like a little bit of like how the market's fading.
Yep.
A lot of it's being used by
Yep.
And if it doesn't, just leave it. That's
Yeah.
last week it took a lot of time. Just leave it. Nothing is changing through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what my failure was yesterday, last week as well. But yeah, Ed, you are right. This is a very simple entry. It moves nicely, and like the entry, if you get it now, again, I don't know if you would have got on this one. I probably would have had my stop loss. I would have had to check where it is, but I probably would have had it here, and it may have just missed it. But you know, your stop loss can be above the fair value gap or the candle that made the fair value gap. So in this case, you're looking at 20 points, and your target on these is usually down to previous low. In this particular case, that's a 1 to 8, so it's a massive R2R. You wouldn't even need to go down that far. And the kickback that it's already had, you know, literally on the next candle you could have moved it to break even, and the kickback that it's already had, you're at 1 to, what's that? Oh shit, not 1 to 20. 1 to 3.
I feel like I've got like a lot of entries, like the IFPT. I just feel like there's so many things that come into play that are like, I'm feeling like a little, I don't know, I'm not seeing it really have
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a high probability trade where you're like, you said, like if it goes generally pretty quick. Like it sounds like a nice entry in terms of like you top off, you break even relatively quickly, and if it goes, right?
Yep. I mean, that's.
I feel like I'm thinking like the way I'm trying, sorry, Jason, like
No.
the way I trade now, like I'm like, okay, well I'm a 50-point stop here. This could be a 60-point stop. This could be a 70-point stop. Like, now I'm like 40 points out of this trade to kind of get to the 1 to 2.
Yeah. But I mean, that is R to R though. Like you always have to take that in consideration. I think no matter what you trade, what strategy, what you know, what method you use, cleverly placing your stop loss based on market structure and having adequate R to R is important. Now, whether you're doing it in an uber safe mode in terms of like, I think we've discussed this a little bit, but like let's say we take this true shift as just an example where I've got options, right? We take this true shift, breakaway gap. Like this is the entry here. It may not be the best entry, but that's an entry. So you've got 3 stop loss options here, right? You've got, I'm taking the breakaway gap, and a breakaway gap means it shouldn't come back to the fair value gap. If it does come back to the fair value gap, potentially I'm getting taken out. So you could have a 20-point stop loss being super aggressive, knowing that this breakaway gap's meant to go. That's one option. Option 2 is you give it the room to the fair value gap, so you put it behind the fair value gap. Now you've got a 40-point stop loss, allowing it to maybe come into the fair value gap, not mitigate that fair value gap, but keep going. Option 3 is you pull it behind the candle that made the fair value gap. So now you've got a 50-point stop loss, right? And you're giving it the room, potentially filling the fair value gap, but maybe not completely taking it out. Or you've got the high, like this pivot high, which is a 60-point stop loss. And so in this particular case, you've got 3 or 4 different stop loss placements based on different concepts of market structure. And understanding the difference in them and kind of the risk involved in each of them will allow you to make a decision based on, okay, I want to take the tight stop loss and now I only need 40 points, but I know there's a much higher risk of me getting taken out on this. Sometimes in your situations you may be like, well, I've got an 80-point stop loss, I'm going to hold on to this to go 160 points. Maybe that's not the right move. Maybe you take a slightly different stop loss approach and have a shorter stop, or just accept that if it is an 80-point stop loss, maybe this isn't my trade because I can't expect it to go 160 points from here because the next area of liquidity is only 50 points away. So just kind of finding that balance and understanding the different areas of market structure that you're going to place your risk at. But on top of that, what you said, just having this as an entry, this does play. It's a simple break and retest, but just with a little tweaking and a little modification with some fair value gaps and making sure you're taking the right break and retest, not just any break and retest. But it plays out. It plays out nicely. You can protect yourself quickly, which is great. If you're taking 3 of these trades and you protect yourself and you get stopped out at 2 but make 1, then happy days. Also, your losses won't be that big. And so, there's plenty of options there. And I always suggest, if you're feeling overwhelmed like that, when I totally get it because there's so many options you can take, it's like, go back to your trading plan, break it down. How many trades do I actually take of the IFVG that are successful? How many trades do I actually take of the TDI chalk that I actually like and are successful? How many trades of the actual break of structure retest do I take? And should I just focus on 2 or 3 of these instead of 6 of them and refine them a little bit more?
Yeah, that's something that I haven't really done much reflecting on. I've just kind of like kept adding and adding and adding, and now all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
Jumping on the charts, haven't really like taken a deep dive of that in a long time, right? And we just
Yeah.
keep accumulating new things, and then it's just like, I'm like, oh man, now it's
Yeah. Now there's too much. But that's progress, right? You start with something, and as you learn and grow and develop, you add new things that actually have the same concepts in them but are maybe more developed. And then you realize that, okay, I don't use them, so I need something for continuation. And then you add that, and then you realize that the thing you had at the start was actually pretty shitty, and you've grown something better, and then you just eliminate and reincorporate. So I think it's just a natural path of growth, and you listen to your body. If you're feeling overwhelmed and uncertain, this is a time for reflection. This is a time to pause, go back, refine, cull some entries, and see what really sticks with you and what you really like, and stick to that. And just make that tough decision.
lately just kind of been going through the motions for the last couple months, I'd say, or
Yep.
because they are like, yeah,
Kind of stagnation a little bit.
a little stagnation, a little like scared to pull the trigger, not taking very many trades, and then kind of get let the emotions get the best of you sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ed, do you want the really annoying answer?
yeah.
More journaling and reflecting, mate. And tracking.
You've kind of been neglecting your journaling and neglecting a lot of these things, right?
Yeah. Every time I hit stagnation, it's because, I'm not journaling anymore. I'm not tracking anymore. I'm not reflecting anymore. I'm not reviewing anymore. Why am I not growing?
Oh, exactly, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you know the answers, you know the reasons why.
Yeah.
Let them do them. So, but having said that, though, man, I do have to run.
Yeah, no worries, man. You bounce.
All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
That's it. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Alright, let's have a look at this weekly review chart. A little bit better today. I mean, my trade management today was not so good, but I mean, two trade. Yeah, I think I was just a bit disappointed that I let that one trade that was at 1 to 2, which should have been an exit, come all the way back and come out at break even. That was a bit of a kick in the teeth. But I mean, it was just silly. Yeah, but it was just silly mistakes. Like to me, that is like rookie mistakes. That I also knew it was happening, but let emotion be like, oh no, it's gonna come back. When I literally, when this candle painted, I was like, I should bring my stop loss to this low. I was like, oh, but it could hit the fair value gap and keep going. Maybe, I don't know. That happens sometimes when you know the right thing, but you do the wrong thing. So that was a little bit disappointing on my behalf, but what you gonna do? Can't win them all the time. Which count was my lead on this. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of things I could have done better, but there's lots of things I could have done worse as well. And I mean, at the end of the day, I look at my P&L and it's pretty profitable, so I can't complain.
It's just so nice to actually have the market moving.
Yeah, it was actually. It was good. 2.3%, but it could have been a really good day actually. If I had have taken that profit, it would have been almost a 5% day, which would have been nice. But woulda, shoulda, coulda. Can't pay the bills with would've or should've. Yep. Yeah, that's good. Alright, then I think I'm going to end that there as well. Have a good day. Yep. Oh, you're going out tonight, so you may not be on tomorrow? Okay. Well, enjoy yourself. Have a nice glass of wine for me. Perfect, brilliant. All right then. No worries, Lorraine. I'll speak to you later. Bye.